Hi, welcome back to my channel Mind Power Reality Check. Great to have you here again. You've probably heard of quantum jumping. We also talked about this topic in some videos of mine here. And the idea behind there is that you can shift timelines and that you can jump into a better version of your life. And it sounds wild and it sounds tempting as well. I talked with many people about this, and what I noticed is that basically everybody says, yeah, that's a great concept, that's great. It's great that if we could do that, just using some techniques, depending on the teaching you are following, using some techniques, and suddenly you find yourself in a better life, and you find yourself in your dream home with the dream partner, and so on. So it's very tempting. On the other hand, there's also some doubt. I also noticed quite a bit of doubt. First of all, the quantum theory behind it is quite complicated, of course, and it's often not so well understood. And so many people don't know where the quantum theory ends and where some metaphorical statements from the teachings begin. So this is a little bit of doubt creeping in from there and there. And so I think there is also some need to clarify certain things here. And honestly, the science behind might surprise you. Because real quantum theory doesn't say the universe is fixed. It says it is full of possibilities. In classical physics, the world was a giant machine. It was predictable, it was, how we say, deterministic. If you knew the state of a system, at a certain time you could calculate the state of this system, and if it would be the whole world in the next second, and the second after the next second, and the next second, and so on. So there was no secret any longer, it was completely deterministic in the old days. And then quantum mechanics came, and everything changed. In the quantum world, particles don't behave like little tiny billiard balls. They behave like possibilities, existing in many potential states, even at once. They move according probabilities, not certainties, and they only become real when we observe or interact with them. And we are also made of these tiny little particles, gazillions of them, and we inherit their behavior. And this opens a wide field of possibilities for us. This is not just weird science. It's a powerful idea with great impact to our lives. Because the future is not just locked in. You can change it every single moment. You're not stuck in a predetermined timeline. You're not locked in as a prisoner of your circumstances, your beliefs, what others told you, your education. If you feel this way, if you feel stuck, remember that the keys for your freedom are just lying next to you. You always have the possibility to change your life. You just grab the keys and open the door to another version of you, to another life. At the deepest level, nature gave us freedom. We shape our path not by force, but by focus, by belief, by emotions, and of course by action, by interacting with the outer world. One way or the other. Action, emotions, belief. We just interact with the outer world, with our outer world. So the outer world will become a mirror of your inner world. You're not standalone. You're interacting with the outer world every single moment. And the way you do it determines the outcome, good or bad. Living your dream life or living a life that others designed for you, and you followed them. But the good thing is you can change it every moment. You can make a conscious decision every moment. You can do that, and say, no, I want to change it. Even if you're living 30, 40, 50 years the same life and finally you recognized, well, this isn't my life. It's just the life of other people. Even if they meant the best for you, but you can change it and say, okay, finally I'm starting to live my life right now. And then think, feel, act accordingly. So, what about quantum jumping? Forget the sci-fi versions. You're not body swapping with another you in a parallel universe. Parallel universes, there's a concept and they might exist, but we don't really know if it's true or not, but it doesn't matter a lot. But metaphorically, the concept makes a lot of sense, because you shift reality when you shift yourself. Your mindset, your focus, your belief, and also, finally, your actions. You don't need to escape to a new timeline. You don't need to do certain things to jump into this or that timeline, or just constantly trying to higher your frequency. You are living on another frequency anyway if you're starting to improve yourself, and if you're starting to leave away the old beliefs that are just dragging you down and that are just hindering you to live the life you really want to have. So you create a timeline here and now, and your old one will finally fade. As you are becoming a new person, and yes, sometimes it will really feel like you jumped into a new life. I know this by myself, because you did jump into a new life. And I know this feeling quite well, because in the past I also struggled with those problems, and also with things others told me, the education stuff and so on. So there were lots of belief systems I had in the past, and I wanted to get rid of finally, as soon as I noticed the concepts behind. And I can promise you, sometimes it feels really like shifting into another life, and that everything changes. There are certain key moments. That doesn't mean necessarily that you're really shifted into another parallel universe. And I personally see this as a metaphor. So you can see it in a different way, of course. This is just my opinion here. I see it as a metaphor. But it's a powerful metaphor. It's a metaphor that makes sense. How do you work with this? So start with belief. Belief changes what you see as possible. And also, of course, what you see is not possible. And quite often, this is wrong. So start with the belief, and then attention. It collapses your energy into action. Concentrate on what you really want. And, of course, silence your inner critic. This little voice telling you all the weird stuff, from parents, from former friends, and from other people. The voice in your head that creates static noise in your field. And remember, small shifts matter. Belief sets the boundary of what's possible. Attention feeds reality. And silencing the inner critic lets you actually hear what you want, and hear less of the noise and less of what is actually dragging you down. Each of these, belief, attention, and inner noise, the inner critic, deserves its own spotlight, and I'll get into them in future episodes, because the video would be getting too long if I tackle all of them here. I'll tackle them in future episodes of the series here. Even slight changes in thought, mood, or movement ripple into new outcomes. And that's real-world quantum jumping. The world is open, not fixed, and your presence, your awareness changes things. Remember the double slit experiment we talked about in a former video I made. And this is one example of this, one of many. Every moment is a new equation waiting for your input. You don't need magic. You already have something much, much better, and that is your choice. If you find this content useful, like and subscribe, and see you again, hopefully in one of the next videos of mine. Till then, have a great time and bye for now.